All right. It's recording. Welcome to the ones who are joining us later or are watching this. Are watching the replay. I think I'm just going to start. If someone else has to join, I'll see it here, so no problem. I have to say I'm a little bit nervous, but excited at the same time. It's something that's very new to me, but I'm very glad to see you here. Welcome to the cabin launch. This is very special because I just want to appreciate everyone that is here today, also the ones who watch it afterwards. I've been receiving great feedback from some of you, even when you didn't know exactly how this is going to look like at all. And I'm very, very grateful. And if you know me, you know that I like to play. I like to have fun. And because the cabin is deeply linked to connections between people, I would like to start this meeting allowing ourselves to know each other a little bit more. Some of you I know more than others for sure, but we're going to do a small exercise, small dynamic. And for that reason, I'm going to ask you to turn your camera on. Everyone has it. Cool. And also, if you have it, grab a piece of paper and a pencil. It doesn't need to be anything big. You're not going to show it on camera. It's just so that you can write if you feel like it. And while you search for that, I will ask you one question. And after that, I'll invite you to share whatever you came up with the rest. This will not come as a surprise for the ones who know me or have been in some of my workshops. There's always some kind of networking or dynamic going on. So this is very much what I like to do as well. And just let me know, raise your hands whenever you are ready. All right. I see Layla still has to find the paper. So while she comes back, I can always repeat the question later, but for the ones who are ready, I want you to answer and write down, what is your greatest dream? What is that one thing that excites you the most, that you would absolutely love to happen, to become true? Give it a thought, and once you're done, raise your hand to let me know that you're finished. Okay. Okay. All right. I think everyone is ready. So if there's someone that would like to share or start sharing, please go ahead and open your mic, your microphone. And if not, I will just say, you can share.
I can start.
Yes. Please say your name and
Juliana.
then what's
Hi.
the...
So my biggest dream. So I have a vintage secondhand shop. And when you asked this question, and at first it threw me off a little bit, like biggest dream, oh my gosh, but I know what it is. I know what it is. It's to beat fast fashion with sustainable and circular type of business models. I see so many businesses coming up with the vintage fashion and vintage shops popping up all over Oslo. So I think we're on the right track. So I like to see secondhand and vintage stuff being way more popular than fast fashion and way more accessible to everyone. So that's my biggest dream for the future.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing, Juliana. It's
Sure.
wonderful. And I so agree with this. I think it seems like more and more people are being more conscious about this. So it's great. Who else wants to share?
I can. So my biggest dream is actually funny because I've been thinking about this for the past 3 days, even on the way home now. So when you had the question, I was like, yeah, I know.
All right.
I really dream about having a space in Oslo in the city center that's really approachable for a lot of people, where I can have therapy sessions. So I work as a psychotrauma therapist, and I can have in-person women's circles, and I can have also guest like speakers or like facilitators for breath work, sound healing, like hosting workshops on different topics, and having like a really beautiful space with like green walls, calming, a lot of plants, having maybe even like some cooking sessions, and a safe space for people to come and to connect and to explore themselves, and also to just like rest, because I know there's always a lot going on in our lives. So like a green oasis basically for like healing. So yeah.
Nice. I like the name. Maybe you could use something like that.
That literally just came now as I was speaking, but
yeah. Just say. Thank you so much for sharing, Julia. It is Leila, Ruth.
Sure.
Any of you? All right.
I'm inspired by Julia. Hi, I'm Iris or Iris, Rebecca's friend. I'm also in Oslo. And I actually live in a cabin in Oslo. You can probably see the background. I love Julia's story, because I was just writing down like, what is my biggest dream? I'm not sure if I have like one, like all-encompassing dream, but I would love to join Julia's space, actually, because I am a designer and I provide design tools, or I make design tools, and I use design methods for people so they can actually design their lives, their dream lives and their dream work lives with design tools. So I would love to join the space of Julia and give workshops and be part of it. That would be awesome, because it's been quite hard to find a space in Oslo where something like that does exist. So that's my dream today.
All right. Thanks for sharing, Iris.
Sure.
Leila, do you feel like sharing?
Yeah, actually the question was really difficult because I don't have like one dream. But I think I'm working with dried flowers, and I'm a very artistic person. So I guess I would like to, one of my dreams would be like to be like successful in this art, this floral designer project, and be known for it, and also like create a legacy within the Scandinavian countries, and be able to have like to express my little crazy personality and walk among other crazy personalities. But that's one of my dreams. The other dream would be also to create a space for women entrepreneurship, because I'm very much fond of entrepreneurship. I'm very passionate about it, and also I would like to fight for a space where women can share knowledge and skills and stuff like that, because I know that it's not always easy, especially for internationals in Norway, to get access to information and stuff like that, and to break the glass ceiling.
Yeah.
So that would be one of my dreams also.
Sounds great, and sounds like you're in the right place right now.
Great.
Oh, thanks for sharing, Leila.
Welcome.
Lovely. Ruth, do you feel like sharing?
Hi, my name is Ruth. I still don't have a business yet, but I would like to eventually create a banana bread business, and something that can evolve to like eventually like a cafeteria. I guess my career-wise, my dream would be creating that space by women and for women, to actually learn about women, how food impacts ourselves, like specifically women, our psyche. I feel like we haven't been taught, and we haven't learned how we are as human beings enough, in a safe place. So I would love to create a feminine like environment for women to feel like they're divine goddesses while enjoying some banana bread. And just a place where we can be and grow into our feminine, whatever that means for each individual. And yeah, that would be my really big dream.
Awesome. Well, it sounds delicious. I know it is. I think. Oh, Julia, you couldn't try it in the previous workshop, but Ruth has been sort of sponsoring us in a way, my workshops. So she's been providing that amazing banana bread, and I hope that you can taste it one day because it's amazing. Thanks for sharing, Ruth. Yeah. Well, thank you everyone for sharing. It is very nice to get to know a bit more of you right from the start. And I'm just going to go ahead and tell you a bit more about the cabin. Basically, the cabin is born because the quality of the relationships with your environment and with yourself is, I believe, the real reason why a person and its business grow together. And they learn and they expand and they rectify and they take new decisions. They question their own existence. They transform. They get inspired and enjoy the time that we have been given in life. And this is something that I've been thinking about, especially lately. I don't know if it's spring or what, but that's how it is. But again, it's the quality of the relationships with your environment and with yourself. And I'm going to say something that is maybe not politically correct, not very my style, but it's very much what I think. And most of the events and places where networking is supposed to happen now, when these relationships are supposed to be created and expanded, they suck. And this is my personal opinion. You can share it or not, but it hurts me very much to say this because I wish it was not this way. And I'll tell you a bit of how I got to this point. Basically, I moved to Norway in 2019, became an entrepreneur in 2020. And, long story short, COVID came right after, as all of you know, and I got to spend even more time at home. And during that time, which was very much the initial state of my business, I was like a sponge, I was absorbing everything I could about running a business, about entrepreneurship, marketing, strategies, whatever, and eventually started getting my first clients. And the thing is, 2 years later, so 2022, not so far away, I looked back and I realized I didn't really remember much of those years. And it concerned me. And I know many people might feel the same way because of COVID, but even when all the restrictions were gone and life was sort of back into normal, this thought kept coming back to me. Like, what have I even done during this time? You know, and if I have no vivid memory that comes up where I felt, I don't know, true joy or something worth remembering, then have I even lived? And this, by the way, happened at the beginning of spring, and not unusual, and also came with a personal and couple crisis, and it also transformed my business. So it was like a whole thing, you know. But basically, I realized that even after all COVID restrictions were gone, I had stayed in my own bubble of safety and comfort at home, working from home, not meeting a lot of people because most of my clients were from Spain, which I am originally from. And so, you know, it didn't really matter that I met them or not in real life. Or did it, actually? And it looks like it did. So, you know, I decided to find the strength, although in the beginning was a bit hard, but I finally managed to get the fuck out of my place a bit more and meet new people, both in my personal and professional life. And it was scary. And this came as a surprise to me because I have never struggled to make friends when I was younger or anything, but there's something that Leila actually mentioned earlier. When you move abroad, suddenly things are a bit different, and it feels harder to make friends. It feels harder to maybe adapt to the culture. So I guess there were many things affecting that. But all in all, I attended a few professional related events in Oslo, and you know, some were more about a specific topic with panelists, that kind of thing, and some were technically more about the networking. And after those, I began to ask myself, what was wrong with me? Because why couldn't I seem to be successful in approaching a person that could be, you know, a potential customer or collaborator or a good contact? Do any of you feel like this nowadays? I see a lot of yeses. Well, I've got good news for you, because there's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with us. But, you know, we have somehow accepted that you should be polite. You should wear a suit, look professional, know your elevator pitch, and be ready to close a deal, sort of thing in those kind of situations, right? Because important and successful business people, mostly men, do that, right? It's what we've seen they do. And we have this Western vision about making business and feel so pressured about all these things that we forget a tiny little detail that makes the whole difference for me. And that is, for starters, asking yourself, do I even want to talk to this person? How is this person? What is their true self? Do I like it? Do I feel aligned with it? Does it bring me joy or excitement to have a conversation with them or to start a relationship, being that professional or personal, you know? And how the hell are we supposed to know if nobody facilitates dynamics or an activity where you can get to know this person better for real? And this is what I feel is missing, because drinking at the bar is not a networking activity. I'm sorry, but this is what I've lived so far. You know, you have panelists or you have whatever, and then the so-called networking is just go to the jungle and try to find someone that actually matches with you by, randomly, by luck. So is everyone, and does everyone feel included in those spaces? I do not. And I am a white woman. There's people that I'm sure have it a lot harder than me in this society. So basically, to summarize, I think the usual networking feels cold, feels opportunist, and personally outdated. But this is about to change. And this is why we are here today. And I'll tell you, I'll share with you a little bit of the purpose of the cabin. My thought is that business will happen anyway, sooner or later, at a faster pace or at a slower pace, and you better do it with the right person, whoever that person is, and whatever role they have in your environment, that being a client or a collaborator or a business partner, it doesn't matter. So if you want to know my elevator pitch of the cabin, it would be something like, the cabin is a community for entrepreneurs who want to improve their relationships with themselves, with other entrepreneurs, and with their own business, to grow, to expand, to learn, to feel more aligned with what they do, basically. So this we can give to the corporate guys, and they would say, yes, accept it. But for me, it's a bit more than that, of course. For me, the cabin is a person. I am behind the cabin, but it's also you. It's a community of entrepreneurs. It is a philosophy, a way to see life. It is a promise to myself to do things my way. It is also a promise to you to encourage to do things your way too. It's a place where you can be yourself, no masks, no bullshit, no corporate disguise. It's a place where you feel, or you can feel, safe and accompanied wherever you are. And it's a moment of connection with your environment, with your business, with the world. So for me, it's a new way to experiment life. It's something new. It's learning to be more present, to be more authentic, to be more aligned with yourself, and more rich in every way. I can also tell you what it is not, just in case there might be some confusion. It is not a co-working space. In fact, it won't have a specific place. The meeting spaces will vary regarding the nature of each month main activity, which I'm going to show you in a little bit. And it is also not a mastermind group per se. I really like those. I've had them before, and it's something that we can always create within the community if enough people request it. So that's not a problem. So I'm just going to share you my screen and actually show you a little bit how this is all going to work, so that you can visualize it a lot more clearly. So let's see. You should be seeing my screen, right? Yes. Awesome. So basically, there are these main things that I'm going to explain a little bit. We will have a unique topic for each month of the year, and that is for the simple reason that, just like nature, we tend to need different things regarding the season we are in, regarding the specific moment, and our businesses and brands are no different. So during the month, we will discuss about the given topic of that month and work on it with exercises, with activities, etc., facilitated and proposed by the cabin. Then we will also have a unique community activity every month. And this is one of my favorite parts of the cabin. We will have either a sports and nature activity that is somehow related to nature, sports, movement, your body, yes, being outdoors, or a culture and arts one. So there will also be activities that are related to arts, to the city, to cultural aspects. And in any case, whatever the activity is, they will always be linked to the topic of the month. So I'll show you examples later. I'll show you a sneak peek of the calendar of the upcoming months. But everything is connected so that we will still work on that topic, even though we do it through different activities, different exercises, and so on. Thank you, Julia. So nice to have you here. She had to leave, she told me earlier, but thanks for being here. Yes, so a unique topic for each month, a unique community activity where we will meet, we will see each other. We will also do this networking in a more natural way, in a more in a different context than what we are used to usually. Also, a sustainable calendar, because as much as the excitement might want us to have a lot more, especially in the beginning, because myself, I will want to share things with you every day and do a lot more stuff together, probably. The cabin calendar has been designed taking into consideration your time and mine as well, both professionally and personally. So every exercise and all the dynamics proposed by the cabin will always be doable and time mindful. And of course, the more you develop them on your own, the more powerful they can become for you. That's your choice. But we will never, I don't want you to feel like overwhelmed by suddenly all the things that we have to do in the community or anything like that. I want it to be something that is effective for you and sustainable at the same time. Then we have the cabin letter. And this is a real physical letter, my friends. Because in a world where everything is about speed and digitalization, it is, I find, disruptive to take a moment to breathe. And this is part of the experience as a member of the cabin. The cabin letter is both an invitation to get away from screens and be present while reading the letter, as well as a way to get in contact with you and let you know everything that is coming forward in the community. So on a monthly basis, you will receive a letter with reflections on the month's energy, the topic, the exercises that we'll explore that month, the main activity, details like date, schedule, place, blah, 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 and much more. Also, at the beginning of every season, you will receive an addition in that letter, which is the season calendar. And basically, it's just a summary of all the activities of the season of the following 3 months, so you can book the dates ahead of time, basically. You will only receive the cabin letter if you become, or when you become a member of the community. And I promise we will try our best to find sustainable solutions for both paper and print for that. I keep that in mind. We will also have private Instagram account for members. At least for now, that is the chosen platform where most of the digital activity of the community will happen. And it's just as easy as in our posts, we will discuss about the topics that we bring every month. It is a safe space with only members of the community. It's going to be a private account again. You can get in touch with me through the DMs a lot more directly than maybe email regarding certain things. And in both posts and stories, of course, you will be able to share your progress with the world and tag us along if you want to. And also the reason why I've chosen Instagram is because as today, it's still one of the most used and intuitive platforms to grow as a brand. So we want to make it safe for you. We don't want you to become a slave of Instagram even more just because the community is there. But we also want to challenge you to improve your skills and your personal brand. So we feel this is a good step in between. And last but not least, the newsletter. This is totally free. You are already subscribed if you're here, so you will get it anyway. But basically, a couple of emails a month, something like that, to get to know myself a bit better. I will, share my points of view about running a business or personal reflections that I believe that could help you. By the way, if you have any questions, you can, of course, raise your hand or share it in the chat. Just let me know. I will have at the end just a small section also if you want to ask something. So let's take a sneak peek of the calendar. What is coming up? April, there will still be things for April. I know today is the 11th, but I still have some things planned for the members who will join. And the topic of the month will be, or is, how to plan your communication according to your strengths. The main activity where we will work on the strategy and the creativity and finding our strengths is indoor bouldering. I promise, beginner approved. Okay, no worries if you have never tried it. It's going to be easy, fun, and a very different way to approach this kind of sport. And of course, keep in mind that we will, beyond this, we will have exercises that we will be working on during the month as well. So that's for April. May, still springtime. We will be talking about how to establish successful, sustainable, and genuine relationships and alliances in your business. The activity of the month will be a forest walk, like a special networking in Oslo's woods. And June, it's in a different color because it's the beginning of summer. The topic of the month will be how to integrate enjoyment as a fundamental pillar or like motor of your business. And the activity of the month will be painting and drawing. I'm still not sure if it will be morning or evening session, but those details will come after. I do know the date though. So this is basically how the calendar looks for the 3 months, 3 upcoming months. There's a lot more that we will be doing during this month and the next, but I just wanted to show you a little bit how it looks like. As a summary, becoming a member of the cabin will help you connect with yourself as a person and business owner, will help you get to know other entrepreneurs in a more natural and genuine way, will help you improve skills needed to run and promote a business and a brand. This is something that some of you, the ones who know me, I do it besides, like this is what I do for my job, my work. So I want to give that as well, to give a touch of that to the cabin. But besides the business part, it will also help you to take time to enjoy life, both with others in the community activities and with yourself. And you'll see what I'm talking about, but it's a surprise. And last but not least, you will be part of a movement that will change the way we do business and networking, which I think is very important at the moment, because we need to change certain things about how we do business in today's world. Why should you join at all? That's a very good question. Thanks for asking. But to put it simple, life is too short not to live it your way. And this is, I know it might sound like a typical thing to say, but really, I don't know if I'll be here tomorrow or in a month or in a year, and I want to make the best of it. And I want to be able to also enjoy my business and my life and find a balance there. And this is also a part of what I'm bringing with the cabin. So we want to promote self-knowledge and business growth through activities that reinforce the connection with your own self and with other entrepreneurs in a natural way, basically. Because the more conscious we are as entrepreneurs, the better decisions we will take, the better this world is going to be. So, when can you join? Excellent question again. Normally, I know, Juliana, you're loving my jokes. Thank you. Normally at the beginning of every season, so that would be February, May, August, and November. But exceptionally, because it is April as of today, to celebrate the launch of the cabin, you can join today or until this Sunday. So the doors will be open during this week for the ones, for you specifically, for the ones who are in the newsletter and have attended this meeting or will watch the replay later. Also, important question. How does this work? How does the subscription work? If you want to become a member of the cabin, it will be 800 crowns a month. Simple, direct, easy. I know that the value that you will get from it as a person and as an entrepreneur sometimes will be priceless, but we still have to put a number to it. And of course, you are free to cancel anytime. No strings attached. We will still be friends. I will still love you as you are. However, do keep in mind two things that I think are important. One is if you want to join again later, you will have to wait until the next time the doors are open, and you must notify it to me before you are charged again. So this way you will be able to still participate in the current month's program. Basically, just a matter of logistics. And this is a bonus track. For the members who join during this week, there is a prize. And this is always one of my favorite parts. I will be raffling a 1 hour free business and brand strategy counseling session with me between the members who join during this week. Basically, if you want to join, you can let me know in the chat now and I will send you the subscription link. Or if you're watching this as a replay or you decide during the week, you can always contact me here and you will also receive the newsletter tomorrow with the subscription link. And now it's moment for questions, my friends. I'm going to stop sharing the screen so that I see everyone.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Is this open to male and female or just female?
It's open to everyone.
Everyone
who shares the same vision. It is important to, and this is something that maybe I didn't mention, but most of the activities, if not all of them, will happen in Oslo region. So this is something that you might want to keep in mind in case you live somewhere far away from Oslo.
Yeah, and are you going to be the one that is deciding for all the topics and the activities ahead of the calendar, or is it going to be like a common thing to choose?
At least in the beginning, I have chosen certain topics because from the experience I've had in my business, I know that there's certain months or certain seasons where, you know, we have more energy on, or other seasons where we feel a lot more insight. So certain topics, like, well, all of the topics have that take that into consideration. But of course, if there is a topic that you guys feel very much in need to tackle at that moment, you are most free to share it with me, to make any kind of suggestions. We're always open to listen to you and to do what we feel it's best for everyone.
And I have one last question.
Yes. Ask as many things as you want.
Because I'm moving to Tromsø, so I was like, will there be like online activities or meetings, or everything will be like in presence?
This is a good question. And the community activity is going to be in person, at least the ones that are already like in the calendar, because I feel it's different, and it somehow it allows us to communicate it in a different way. But of course, if there's people that would love to maybe meet online once a month and do something else, or even, you know, create a mastermind where you can you know, meet for 1-2 hours and debate stuff or discuss stuff, of course you're most welcome to do that. So if you suggest that to the community and people agree and want that, then we can make it happen, of course.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for your questions. Very good ones. Is there any other questions that come up now, or that something you want to say, something you want to share? Ruth, go ahead.
I would like to know if when the in-person activities will take place, have you planned it on like a set day, or is it something that it's going to be debated so as many people can join? You know, if we have to like combine it with work or stuff like that, is it only one day that's going to happen? Is it maybe different sessions for people to join? How is it planned?
That's a good question. At least in the beginning, it's going to be mostly in the weekends, because I feel that's usually where people have more time available. Of course, it depends on everyone, but most likely it's going to be on Saturdays or Sundays. It depends on the activity. But with the season calendar, the main goal of that is that you can plan it ahead, so you can see like, okay, maybe I can attend the 3 activities, or maybe there's one that I cannot make it, but I can make the other ones. Does that make sense? Am I answering your question? Okay. Cool. All right. Well, if there is no further questions, I don't know if...
I don't have a question, but I just wanted to say that it's very cool what you're doing, because I've asked you a couple of questions already. So now oh, what other questions do I have? But I say it's awesome what you're doing. I wanted to acknowledge that.
Thank you. Thank you, Iris.
She's right. I'm very excited, even if I'm going to move, but I have one last question as well. Do you have like a date in mind for the April activity? Just to see if I'm going to be here.
For the what?
For the April activity.
Yes, as a matter of fact, I do. And I'm going to let you know in a second. let me just check it out so I'm not mistaken. It's going to be the Saturday 29th of April. By your looks, it looks like you're going to be away.
Oh my God, yes. And I really wanted to participate in that communication atelier or yes, but I'm flying the 18th. That's so bad. That's so stupid.
Right.
Oh.
I mean,
Yeah.
you would be missing the physical activity or the in-person activity, but you could still do the exercises that we propose during the month.
Yeah, of course. If it's like if it's sent via email or something,
yes,
I don't know
yes.
if the documents will be. I don't know if we're going to have like a drive or something like that where we can access the documents. You know, if there is like a PowerPoint or a presentation or something like that, text articles.
In my thought is that you get all of this in the cabin letter.
Okay.
But if you feel that it's also nice to have it somewhere online that you can maybe check anytime you want, this is something that we can do as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. That's
absolutely.
Okie dokie.
All right. Juliana, is there something you would like to ask, to share?
I was also checking the calendar because I go to a lot of markets with my shop, and they're almost always Saturday or Sunday. And the next market I'm going to is actually on the 29th.
Do you go there? Like, are you there the whole day?
This one, I think it's until 5 or 6, something like this.
Okay.
It's something that I can join in right after. I would totally do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it depends on you guys, because I have a bit more flexibility, and although I have set some dates to sort of have a date already, this is the beginning. You know, this is also a test for me. I'm very open to listen to you guys. So if everyone would be okay, if we would ask everyone and everyone would agree that it's best on the Sunday instead of the Saturday, then we can also make that happen.
Do you think that maybe we could do something like a voting poll on Instagram in the group?
Yeah.
So we can see the people that we have already signed up for the newsletter and everything, what kind of days in like most often work best for everyone.
Yeah. Absolutely. I think I can do that through the newsletter, but I think it's going to be probably most efficient if we do it with the people who become members of the community, because in the end it's the people who will most likely join those activities. So we can do that either way. Yes, no, not a problem. I'm open to change dates, and that's also one of the reasons why I share them with you, like right from the start, so we can see that, you know, if there's one date that nobody can come, but if we move it one day, everybody can come, or most of them, then it wouldn't make sense not to change it, you know. So that's not a problem for me.
Cool.
All right. Well, I just want to thank you all for being here, for supporting this project, the cabin. It's something that I've been wanting to do for quite some time now, and just to see that you share the same vision and you feel aligned with this then it's already great to see your faces now, really. So yeah, whether you join or not, I'm still here to help you with anything I can. We will see each other in the cabin if that is meant to happen. And remember, you have this whole week if you want to think about it, if you want to decide, or if you have already decided, you can just text me later and I'll send you the subscription link. And yeah, thank you everyone for being here. Thank you for the ones who will watch the replay later. I'm just gonna pause the recording now.